Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week of Q&A for Circuit Lab. I know several of you have already had your first invitationals. I've been getting emails, and so I'm looking forward to hearing about it. So before we start with anything, does anybody have any questions? Are there any questions? Let's see who all we've got here. Has anyone participated in a tournament yet? Who all is on? Okay, so while we're waiting for other people to join, I'll answer some of the questions that some folks have already provided me. One of the first questions is that if I'm in Division B, I notice that Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current laws are listed in Division C. Do I need to know them? And no, they can't ask you a direct question about Kirchhoff's voltage law or Kirchhoff's current law. However, knowing that the voltages, when added up around any given circle in a circuit, equal zero, and knowing that that all current going in has to equal all current coming out, or all charges going in have to equal all charges going out, I would say that those are two very good circuit analysis tools to have in your toolbox. Okay, so even though you're not required to know Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law for Division B, I personally recommend learning them if you are able. If they make sense to you and they help you solve problems, study them. Just know that you can't be asked a question directly about them, but you can use that knowledge in your circuit analysis. I see we have somebody who joined. Who joined? Who joined? Okay, so far there's not been a lot of Q&A. I'm going to go back over here and check out my my email to see if anyone has sent me any questions. Dun, dun, dun. No, there are no questions. Okay, well, in about 1 minute, I'm about to shut down the live chat because it doesn't look like anyone has joined. And I hope this means that everybody's doing very well in studying on their own. keep in mind, I would recommend that if you don't know anything else to do, to go to sciali.org. And here, let me show you what that looks like. So you'll go to sciali.org, and you'll notice I'll come down here to Test Archive. Okay. And you'll notice there's a test exchange that's current. You'll notice that they've got previous years. And if you scroll down here, you can notice that there is an area for Circuit Lab. And then you scroll down even further, there's an area here for shock value. So if you're Division B, this is shock value. So you can see here's the Pembroke Hill Invitational Exam from Missouri. Here is Billy Hobo's practice test. Here's the North Bethesda Invitational from Maryland. They always have an outstanding invitational in North Bethesda. Okay. You've got this person's practice test. Okay. JC Booth. They always have a great invitational down there. You've got Space Scientists. You've got a North Carolina practice test. You've got some other practice tests. And so keep in mind, I would recommend doing any of those tests, even if they have questions which are not currently legal. Okay. You'd be surprised at the number of event supervisors that will actually get their questions from previous tests. And by getting questions that ask the same problem different ways, you'll be ready no matter how the event supervisor asks the question. Okay. The other thing is make sure that you practice a lot with your multimeter. But there is nothing more important than being able to, when you're doing something practical, to be able to draw the diagram, draw the circuit, do the analysis such that when you are making measurements, okay, you're not just learning, you're also verifying. So if you look at a circuit and you know that it's a battery and a single light bulb, and you know I got 1.5 volt battery here, I would expect the voltage here to be about 1.5 volts. And I would expect the voltage across that light bulb to be about 1.5 volts. Okay. And if I put two of those light bulbs in series, I would expect it to be about 0.725 volts, and about 0.725 volts, or half of whatever that other voltage is. So get used to drawing the diagram of what they've drawn. That way, when you make a measurement, it all makes sense. Okay. Well, it looks like the one person who joined us has left us. So with that, I'm going to stop the live stream. I will say, please email me any questions or comments to geaux15@hotmail.com. Also, please see sciali.org for some great practice tests. Go to the test archive for Circuit Lab, Division C. And shock value, Division B. Okay. With that, everyone, I will end this one unless there are any other questions. Are there any other questions? I see somebody just joined. Okay, well, with that, we will end it. Thank you so much. I hope everybody is doing well this season. Since we only had one person show up last week and we had nobody show up this week, I am going to schedule one for next week. But if no one shows up at that one, I will just hold off until I'm asked specifically by any team to set one up. Thank you so much. Goodbye.